On this episode of Hudson Valley Hustle, I'm joined by Jason Coppola, owner of Hudson Valley Sunrooms. If you couldn't already tell, they build sunrooms, really luxurious ones here in the Hudson Valley. They've been doing it for over 40 years. It's a really great interview. But before we get into it, I just wanted you to know that if you need video production, whether it's for social media, corporate video, whatever it might be, or you just want to make your business go viral, hire us before your competition hires us, because they will kick your butt if they work with us. Enjoy the interview. So how long have you owned, so is it Hudson Valley Sunrooms or is it Four Seasons? Like what's the official brand name? And
Yeah, so a lot of people get confused with that. So Four Seasons Sunrooms is corporate. They actually have 300 dealers around the world, and I'm one of them, right? So Hudson Valley Sunrooms is a local Four Seasons Sunrooms company. I'm the owner of that. We've been around in the Hudson Valley for 40 years. I only took over in 2021 though. So the history is kind of huge though. I mean, my father and the previous owner, Chris Smalley, they pretty much started this whole thing. Chris owned the company and then my father was the installer. And so, they just did their thing. And then, around 95 or so, as a young guy, I was going to help my dad, work on these projects, and that was it. Like it just kept doing it. Ended up owning my own company to work as a subcontractor for them. And and then, they were looking to retire and kind of call it quits. And I said, well, I'm not letting this go. We've, as a group, the three of us really, the four of us really, Colleen, the office manager, we all did a lot to make this what it is. And to just let that go, it just didn't seem right. So, we did what we had to do. I took over. So for the past 3.5 years or so, I've been doing my thing, and I still have Colleen, my office manager, with me. Mm-hmm. And we're doing what we can in the Hudson Valley to make it happen.
What would have happened if you didn't take over? What was the exit plan?
It would just let it go. And I guess corporate, it is crazy, right? Corporate would just have to come up with somebody to fill the void.
Find another operator, franchise owner or something, or
it's more of just like a contractor. Hey, You guys do this. Maybe you should do this, So
that book of business, that reputation and everything would have just been gone.
All gone. Yeah, absolutely. So, it just made the most sense, and when you start a business, you're starting off at ground zero, so to build up a rapport with people is tough. It takes it still took me several years to just gain, momentum in this new venture of me being the owner. So, to start off with so much in the behind me, was it was huge. It was huge.
Yeah, because it was how long before you took it over? How long was it open?
37 years.
I can't imagine an almost 40-year-old business just being closing its doors, we're done.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to even think about it. And the customer base that we have, thousands of customers, over the years. And they keep calling, they keep coming back. We talk to so many of them, for different services and whatnot. Others, repeat customers, believe it or not, in this, it's an expensive product, but we still get repeat customers. I want another room. I want, I have another house. We sold our other house. We want to have our sunroom back. So, it's great. It's been a great experience.
No, that's amazing. Yeah. So the home improvement, at least in your field, is really it's kind of like a luxury item, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because it's not somebody's pipes break, you guys come and fix it.
Right.
It's we want to add this beautiful thing to our house.
Yeah.
How has that been in the last few years?
It's tough. So, it's not a necessity, right? So, if your furnace breaks, right, if a pipe breaks, you got to call a plumber. They got to come. So they pretty much have guaranteed business is coming their way. When you have such a luxury item that people don't need, it's a little bit tougher, but then again, people do what they want. So I want this, and I'm going to do whatever I got to do to get this. Even if my house is falling apart, I want a sunroom. Mm-hmm. So it's an interesting balance. But with COVID, that was a little scary for me because I took this over in 21. Right, we're dead in the middle of COVID, and I'm just freaking out. Is this really something I want to do? But the market was booming. people were in their homes. They were working from home. Everything was in their home. So it's like, all right, I'm stuck in this place. I'm looking around. And
let's make it nice.
Yeah, it's like, this is trash, man. I want to have a cool spot to go to, So come, during that time, we were just booming. It was great. But, this past year has been a little interesting, with COVID's over, people are kind of going back to normal. I think this, election was a little touchy for some people. So people were holding on to their money a little bit. So this year was a little slower, but things are picking back up, and it's construction, So the roller coaster ride is just what we've been riding as long as we've been in this industry. So you take the good with the bad and the bad with the good, and you just roll with it.
Yeah, so. Yeah. Like I imagine customers of yours, like they're happy to see you, right? Like it's
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like if something breaks, nobody wants to have a plumber come out at 2:00 in the morning on a Sunday where they know they're going to pay an emergency fee and all this kind of stuff. They're like, here we go. What do I got to do? But they see you guys roll up and they're like, this is what I want.
I'm so excited to see you guys.
Yeah, right.
It's such a great feeling. That is definitely one of the things that really keeps me going is it's so hard. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of behind the scenes. It's a lot of, we're doing engineered drawings. We're dealing with, all these different hands, and it's all this work before anything even starts. And then when you start, we're tearing up the ground, or we're tearing up your house. It's so hard going through all of it. But then at the end, when you have this just phenomenal room, and it is a magnet, it is the place that you're gonna be. It's the place where the family's gonna be. It's just such an inviting place. And when we can give that final reveal to the customer and say, this is what we did for you, after all that, this is what you have, for them to be super happy, it just makes me feel good. Like you said, if you're gonna get a plumber in there to fix something, you're already starting off on a bad note.
Sure.
But at least with us, we're ending on a great note. And that's what we've been doing. We do that, and we have a great product, and we have great people. And that combination, I think, just makes us unique.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
How do you think, so nothing personal, but but construction for some reason has a bit of a reputation. I mean, let's call it what it is. Whether it's everybody's had the unreliable, the no-show, it's costing 5 times more than they said it would. They started this and then they left me and then they went to another job. How do you stand out on top of that? And how do you kind of break down that wall that contractors typically have?
It's hard. The reputation is real. It's a real thing. And, something that I've learned is that good companies, good people will say the same thing that a liar will say. So to differentiate between the two for a customer is, you'd have to have a lie detector test to figure it out. So it is very hard, but I really do feel like the reputation that we have, if you do your research and you find our reviews, lately I've been, doing video reviews. We've been talking to people, reviews that people can see the customer, they can see on their face how they really feel about what they've experienced with us. I think that's huge. It's hard. It's hard to distinguish ourselves from that. I think your reputation precedes yourself. So, we know we do great work. We know that we really do care about leaving the customer happy at the end of the day. And that actually comes across in the price too, right? So, we're a top-notch, top quality product, top quality service. We are going to bend over backwards to take care of you, but that comes at a cost.
Of course,
we can cut corners, but it's going to be cheap,
right?
So when people look at our product and we come out with a price, and then there's other people in the market that have similar products, but at the end of the day, excuse me. At the end of the day, you get what you pay for. And we just are going to stay true to who we are, and we're just going to do the best that we can, and just try to put our best foot forward and show people. I think through those reviews is going to be huge, to show people this is what people think about us, and this is what we're giving you. And if that's the experience that you want, then you want to work with us. Yeah.
One of my favorite sales authors, sales guys, his name was Jeffrey Gitomer, and he, in one of his books, I forget what book it was, but he said, when you say it about yourself, it's bragging. When other people say it about you, it's proof.
Yeah.
right? So I agree with you. I think the testimonials are super valuable, especially when somebody's in the market for what it is that you guys offer, because that could be that differentiating thing that separates you from, the guys down the street or whoever that might be.
This is one of those things you want to do once. Like you're going to spend all this money.
Yeah.
You want to do it. Yeah, that's the thing. We actually just got done doing a job for a customer who, I don't want to name any names, but got a room from a different, manufacturer back in 2018. A tree landed on it and destroyed it. They called us and they said, we don't want to go back to this customer, or to this, we don't want to go back to this, contractor, to this company. What can you do for us? And so, we ended up tearing the old one down. Insurance paid for the majority of it, but not the whole thing. They actually paid out of pocket so that they could have the experience with us.
And they can make it the way that they want it to, right? Because they had an opportunity to be like, hey,
Yeah.
this got destroyed. Let's make it exactly how we want.
And deal with people that we want to deal with,
course,
right?
yeah.
That was the thing, is we just didn't like how we were treated. And we don't want to go back, which is sad to me. That I got to imagine that, when we come in, it would be horrible to think that somebody would say that about us. And that's what we work hard to do, is to make your experience so awesome that you say, oh, these people are going to take care of me. Let me call Jason, he'll take care of me.
Yeah. So as far as your role as the owner, what are you doing like day to day? What does a day look like for you?
I don't know. And there's a day
besides podcast and media interviews all day,
right?
Exactly, being like the face.
No, it's tough. It's business ownership is a tough thing. You're balancing so many different things. What does the day look like for me? I mean, for the most part, I've built these rooms. I mean, I know this inside now. I know this from ground zero to ownership, right? So I know every facet of this job more than really anybody else on my team. So I think I'm best suited for going into somebody's home and saying, basically having all the answers. Because if I can go in there and pitch something to you, I don't like to sell. I don't call myself a salesman. I'm not. In fact, I tell people I'm not a salesman. I just want to fulfill your dreams. I want to make your dreams come true. Let's just do that together. And I help them. I help them make their dreams come true. So, from being in the house to just understanding them as a person, to understanding their family, to understanding what is this room going to be for? Why do you want this? And then to just formulate, I think this is going to be what we should do for you to make it personal for you, make this a room that you want. So that's a lot of what I do. Is I'm in the home, I'm talking to people, and I'm making it happen. I try to hire, people on the back end to take care of like the business, the numbers, the accounting, the bookkeeping, the phone calls, all that. I try to be the face. I'm not a huge fan of being the face of things, I mean, I think that's for a lot of people. I don't like to see myself in pictures. I don't like to see myself in videos, but the bottom line is I am this company, right? I am the face of this company. People are going to see me. So I'm trying to get over that personal thing and be the face of the company. Yeah,
that's understandable. That's something I kind of struggle with too, is like when you're so involved in making the things happen, right? That's your job. Your job is basically to make things happen.
Yeah.
Do you ever think about like, what the heck happens if I can't go to work tomorrow?
Oh, yes. I all the time. I really do. I actually wonder. I worry about my team. If something were to happen, God forbid, what happens? What happens to this company? So I guess to combat that, what I try to do is, my team is great. They're great people. They don't necessarily have all the knowledge that I have. So I'm not hoarding it. I'm not just keeping it to myself as the only brain in the room. So I'm trying to share, so when I go out and I visit people in their homes, sometimes I'll bring some of my office team with me. Not that I'm going to necessarily send them out to do this, but at least to be knowledgeable. Sometimes I will, maybe I'll send them out on different things. But you see, if they have that knowledge, if they have that experience, sure. If they have that feeling that the boss trusts me enough to take me, or he cares enough to take me on these things, and he cares what I know, it's an amazing thing when you can make somebody feel value, like their thoughts are valued. You know, I just work in the office. I just answer the phones, but you're not. I want to hear what you have to say. You're a different perspective from me. I don't know what you're thinking. I don't know how you see me. I don't know how you see this company. I don't know how you see this room. So it really helps to round me out when I try to involve others on my team. And at the same time, I'm kind of trying to prevent an issue where if I were to be incapacitated in some way that I can't function as a company, I feel like at this point I could say, you know what, while I'm out,
it could live without you for a little bit.
I could probably manage it from a bed, you know, if I had to. So I just keep trying to build on that and make that something that'll, you know, God forbid, but that this will still function if I were incapacitated.
Yeah, because otherwise, if it starts and stops with you, it's a scary thing, man.
I saw this one commercial where, you know, the guy, they're walking through the office and he's like, everything's here, man, everything's here. He turns the corner and walks into a drawer, knocks out, and he passes out on the ground. And so they're going into a meeting and he's supposed to have everything in his head and then now he's knocked out on the ground. That's kind of putting all your eggs in a basket, right? And then if that basket gets destroyed, well, shoot, you know, there it goes, you know. So I'm here to be here for the long term.
Yeah,
you know?
kind of empower people to be able to do things that you. Yeah,
that's it. You can't do it alone.
Yeah, and I think too. I think you got to get over the fact that you're not going to be able to duplicate yourself 100%, right? Because nobody's going to love it the way that you do, right? It's not. Nobody's going to treat it the way that you will, but. You can find something pretty close, I think. I think you got to, it's important to kind of like relinquish a little bit of that control. It's hard to do.
So hard.
It's really hard to let it go. Yeah. But if you really want it to be able to live there without you.
Yeah. I think it makes you successful. You know, I mean, yes, it's my baby. Yes, I can do it better maybe, but you're only as good as the team that you have. You know what I mean? And so, you know, can I be out there selling a job? Can I be in the office, you know, figuring out all the details, talking to the engineer? Can I be on the job building the rooms? Can I be out there doing service calls? I mean, yeah, but I can't do it good. I mean, if I just did one of those, I could do it great, probably better than anybody else. But to spread myself so thin is foolish, I feel. So having a team that cares, good people, and empowering them, I think is going to make it successful. So that's what I'm trying to do.
And it's a hard thing to distinguish too, going back to what we were talking about before, of distinguishing yourself from a competitor.
Right.
Because everybody says that, right? Everybody says like, we have an experienced team, knowledgeable, reliable. It's like all these, throw every cliche at it that you possibly can, right? But it comes down to, again, like that reputation, that history of that 40-year history or whatever it is, right? That kind of backs it.
And the reviews. I mean, and that's why I think the video reviews, everybody's going into video, right? So, I mean, right now we're on a video.
Every day, man. We do it every day.
That's it. So, I mean, video is the way of the future. And so, you know, making people aware of it through video and my whole team, it's not just me or it's not just this person. So, you know, from who they talk to on the phone when they call, someone's always answering the phone when they call. The service tech that came and worked on my sunroom or took care of something. You know, Jason, when he came to, you know, talk to me about my room, you know, if you go and look through our reviews, you're going to see everybody's involved in that. Everybody has great reviews. So we're on this team. We're all one big family, and we try to have that camaraderie, that family type atmosphere. And I think it makes for it's a great working environment, but it makes a great company. And I think it gives the customer an awesome experience.
Yeah, absolutely. How do you, because you have basically it's a luxury item. It's not a necessity. It's something somebody wants. It's a want, not a need, which I think is exciting because people will tend to be a little more open to maybe spending more because they're going into it knowing that it's something that they want, not need.
Right.
Where are you finding your customers, right? So, or how are you, I should rephrase that. How are your customers finding you?
Yeah. It's a good question. So corporate helps out a lot, I will say. They have so much advertising out there, and ultimately we all have territories. So I mean, you know, I pretty much have the whole Hudson Valley up even beyond Albany. It's pretty crazy my area. So they do a lot for advertising for us, but we do local stuff. I mean, I've been doing a lot on the social media platforms. We do magazines. Hudson Valley Magazine is a huge one. We've done that and several others, regional publications. Any way we can get ourselves out there, we do. We've done networking things. We've done sponsored events. We try to be the face of a lot of different things. And so to find our customer, it's hard because, like you said, it's an expensive item, and a lot of people want this. A lot of people want a sunroof.
Sure.
I mean, I want a
Who
sunroof.
who doesn't want to? I mean,
yeah. I don't have one, yet. But I mean,
Same.
right.
I saw some of the pictures on there. I was like,
Yeah.
oh man, that would go really good where this
Right.
like old crappy deck used to be.
Exactly. but to make it happen, and especially now, with inflation and how it's all gone. I mean, just 4 or 5 years ago, I could have done it for a whole lot less. But now, so I think people recognizing that it's not just groceries that have gone up in price, it's also
everything.
Right.
Yeah,
So I mean,
that, yeah.
when cereal doubles in price, it's tough, but it's like, all right, well, it's not that big. But when a sunroom doubles
Sure.
in the price, it's like, wait a second, this was, however many thousand before, and now it's
Yeah.
it just blows me out of the water. So it's hard to find our customer, but it's like searching through a needle in a haystack. But they're out there, and they find us because they know the quality. We have a good brand behind us.
What would you say has been, at least since you took over, what would you say has been one area of your marketing, your advertising, your sales that has led to the biggest awareness of what you guys do?
Honestly, it was the Dutchess County Fair.
Really?
Yeah. We built a room inside one of the pavilions there. And so I think that's a huge thing. When I show you a picture or video, it's great. If you can touch it, if you can sit in one, if you can look out of it, it's a whole nother experience. So the Dutchess County Fair single-handedly was amazing because people got to see the quality of the product, touch it, operate the windows, get the feeling of what it's like to be inside of one. And you could just see the quality. In fact, many people would come by because there were a couple other similar items out on the fair, and I heard comments that like this is the cream of the crop. So that's it. Seeing it in person. So what we've actually started to do with some of our customers, ones that are really interested, we give them a price and they're not blown away completely by the price. We don't have a showroom anymore. COVID kind of like made that happen. We take them out to one of our customers that we just recently did, and we'll say, here's a room that's similar to yours that one of our customers has. They love showing it off. You know what I mean? When you have a sunroof, why would you not want to show it off to somebody? So they're like, yeah, come on, bring them over. So we bring them over, and not only do they get to experience the room, experiencing the room in the Dutchess County Fair, you were inside of a pavilion. So to get that feel of being outside but not, you weren't really getting it because we were in a building. But to go to a room and to actually be inside the room, to see with the sun and to feel the sun, it's a great thing. And then on top of that, you have a customer who's giving you a firsthand testimonial to your face.
Yeah.
So I just stand back. I stand back and just let the cards fall, the chips fall where they may. And it's just been a great experience. So the fair and really just taking people out to rooms is big.
I would imagine, what you guys build, you're building these beautiful additions, these beautiful rooms in people's houses. And every time somebody goes to that person's house, whether it's a family member or a friend, that's an advertisement for you.
Absolutely.
They walk in and be like, holy crap, who did this, right?
And it's not just a one-time thing either, So, I mean, been there, done that? No. Every time they're in the room, they're going to be like, I just can't get over this. As many times as they're going to come back and visit. There's just something about being in the sun or being outside, seeing it snow, right? Seeing the snow fall, but being warm inside of a cozy room where you're outside, but you're not outside.
Yeah,
it's such a trick on your mind, but it's such a, I don't know, dopamine maybe. It just really produces some great feelings.
Yeah, no, that's great. Again, that's fantastic marketing for you. That's you're fortunate in that way where the product that you make is also
selling itself,
right? Like that's huge.
Yeah.
I think that's something to kind of keep in mind where like if you're making something that many people will get to enjoy and use, let that kind of work for you. And that's cool that some customers are actually open to being like, yeah, come into my house whenever you want. Bring some customers in, like bring these randos into my house.
It's so, like, I feel awkward even asking sometimes, but they're so excited. In fact, this all started when a customer told me, hey, if you have anybody that wants to come look at it, like, and I'm thinking, I'm sure people would love to come. Whether you would want them in your house, it's kind of weird to me, but you know what? They're just so excited. And that's what we were talking about earlier, is that feeling of that we're producing inside them is, I love this room. I'm so excited. I want to show the world.
They want to share it. Sure.
So if they want to share it, well, shoot, I'm not gonna withhold somebody who wants to see it too.
Do you ask customers now, like, hey, are you cool? So that's part of your process now?
It's almost like a domino effect, right? So we started doing that. And so the customer that actually bought a sunroom from after visiting one, they're like, hey, so if you want to bring anybody here, like, let us know. And we've taken them up on their offer, and it's been great.
That's fantastic. I'm sure it sells. I'm sure it sells rooms more than.
I feel like it's almost a given. We get to the point where they know the price, and they're like, yeah, take me out to a room. Let's go see one. And then they're going to experience it. It's over. Like they're sold.
Yeah, they're committed to that. Yeah, absolutely. Sure. Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So as far as, so you worked in the company, right? You said?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So what was that transition like for you, going from, employee to owner? How did did people look at you differently being an employee and then being an owner?
We kind of hid that transition really well, I think. There were a lot of different phases. Maybe not a lot, but I worked for my dad, who was a subcontractor for Hudson Valley Sunrooms, and then I started my own business and worked directly as a subcontractor for Hudson Valley Sunrooms. But I was a lot of times the face, right? So I was with my dad building the rooms, and I would see the customers, they would see me. I would do service calls, and I would be the face. I'd be the one that they would see. So they were seeing me. Now all of a sudden I'm the owner, and so when they see me,
nothing really changed, right?
Nothing really changed. Even when we did the whole transfer of ownership thing, I mean, the name never changed. My office manager, Colleen, was the office manager since 2003 with the original owner. So I kept her on. So when she answers the phone, it's the same people. So you have Colleen, who's consistent, the same person. You have me, who's the same person. I don't think anybody even knew what happened. Like, we have to actually tell people that, where's Chris? He's canoeing somewhere in a mountain in the Adirondacks or something. What I mean? He's enjoying his retirement. It's been a nice, easy transition. I don't think people even were aware of it.
Yeah, that's good. Did you ever see yourself owning something?
I mean, I've been a business owner since 2007. So, I mean, I've experienced that. I feel that ambition to take on more. So, I mean, did I ever see myself owning this? I mean, I think I did. I think for several years, actually, we were just talking about it, mentioning it. I was just kind of curious, hey, how do you feel, Chris, the original owner? How do you feel about eventually doing that? So it's kind of been on my mind, maybe in the past, the few years before this all happened, but as a young guy working with my dad, like, I don't want. I'm not. I'm just working. I'm making money. I just need money. I need a car. I got to pay for my insurance. But as an adult though, I was certainly looking forward to this. This is a great company. Corporate. I'm not a huge fan of corporate America. I'm not a huge fan that corporate America is kind of backing me. But they're not your typical corporate America. They stand behind their product. And I do have to say that there's been times, like in any company, that something's gone awry, they make it right. We have huge warranties that we extend for these rooms, and they honor them. There's times when they don't have to honor something that was done, and they do. So to have that backing and to have that same feeling we've created in this company to kind of be similar in the corporate backing us, it's been nice.
That's great, man.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to share about the journey, the story, the company before we wrap things up?
Man.
Other than if you want a kick-ass sunroom,
Yeah, I mean, this is the place. What I try to tell people, besides you get what you pay for, is, the experience is huge. You know, like I told you about that one customer that just said they didn't want to go back because they didn't like the experience. You know, we try to provide an all-around great experience. And I'm the type of person who likes to, like, if I can't do it great, I don't want to even start. So to know that I have this great product, to know that I have great people behind me, to know that we're going to be here for you in the next 20, we have a 20-year warranty, but it's only as good as the people that are backing it. You know, we're going to be here for you. We're going to give you a great product. We're going to give you a great experience. And, you can't, I mean, you can buy it. Just find our website, you can buy it. But, that's what we're offering. We're offering a great experience and a great quality product. And yes, it's probably more expensive than any other similar type item that's out there. But at the end of the day, you're going to get what you pay for. And I like to be able to stand behind that. People want something cheap. And that's okay, because if they want it to be cheaper, that's okay. That's not what I'm doing.
Yeah, there's somebody out there for them that will sell that to them, which is fine, and
Yeah.
that's fine. Like you have your customer, serve that customer.
That's it.
You're not going to serve everybody that wants a sunroom.
Absolutely right, and honestly, right, and this is the top tier, right? So a very low percentage of the people that we talk to are actually become our customers. But if you want quality, then you're going to come to us. If you want a long-standing relationship, if you want a long-standing company to back a product that we're producing for you, then you want to come to us. In fact, I just got done talking to a customer of ours that's been our customer for 35 years. And that's something that he said. He can't believe that, with a car, it's hard. Like, after 35 years, am I going to be able to go back and get a part for this car? I mean, you can, but you're not going to, Advance Auto or something to do that, But he says it's amazing to him that he can call us up and say, hey, I got a problem with this. If he needs a piece of glass replaced because something, got lawnmower shot or what. It's as easy as making a phone call. We place an order, we get the stuff, we get it done. So after 35 years, we're still here. Four Seasons has been around for 50 years. We're here for the long haul. And if you want a product that's a good quality and people that will stand behind it, then you need to find us.
That's awesome, man. And where can they find you?
So hvsunrooms.com. I mean, that's pretty much the main place to be. We do a lot, like I said, on social media and YouTube. But you can find all that, of course, through our website. And you can call the office, 845-339-1787. And we'll be there to answer your call and answer all your questions.
Good deal, man. Well, thanks so much for coming on. Good luck to you. And
appreciate it.
Congratulations on everything, man. It's awesome.
Thank you.
See ya.